folks. Championship Sunday. These are best 3 out of 5 games to 11, and we are underway. And there is the Newman Ernie, but thwarted.
Yes, I think Kovalova has seen that move before and was wise to it.
Just back, and the Newmans will play it either way, but have chosen to put Lindsay in front of Lucy to start.
Yeah, I've seen that a number of times in recent tournaments, and it's worked out pretty well.
She will force the play to the middle of the court by doing that, Ernie. And
Riley's so dangerous off both wings. He can do damage with that backhand.
Nice. And
yeah,
holds that. We talked a lot about that yesterday,
it's
Morgan.
The right flick.
And he's coming out firing, and he knows his opportunities will be infrequent because Lucy's going to get a lot of balls, so he's taking advantage of it early here. What a point in the net, just popping up everywhere, Morgan.
It is. This one's particularly springy. I like it.
Keeps them on their toes here.
Indeed.
At 8:27 Pacific time. So that's the challenge of trying to attack Lindsay Newman as she slides to the left side of the court. There is no room on her left shoulder that's in.
There really isn't, yeah. And she gets out of the way so well. Fantastic lever of the ball. And it looks like that just caught her on the way past. Unfortunate.
So a little kiss off the net. Also kisses off Lindsay Newman, and we're at 3-1-2. Big rip by Wright in white. Everybody wearing white here, folks, for this tournament. Looking very classy on a Sunday morning. Oh, beautiful ATP by Lindsay Newman there.
Yeah, a two-handed ATP, not easy.
No, got there in time, and then, again, the net can produce some beautiful ATPs. Did there.
Yeah, I think at that moment, Matt Wright was aware how quickly Newman, Riley Newman, that is, was approaching the net. Might have startled him slightly.
Beautiful finish by Wright there.
Yeah, at the moment, Lindsay's, when she's going cross-court to Wright, she hasn't quite got her range yet, keeping it out of that long wingspan.
And this is the first of 2 battles between Wright and Newman today. The males will play later in men's doubles, so a lot of pickleball for these two. Beautiful job by all players. Heard an out call by Lindsay. Not the ball was out, but let it go, bro.
They have such an interesting relationship on court.
Yes.
You often see when timeouts are called, them not even close to each other. One of them can often just hang out on the court. The other one will sit down, and it's very it's entertaining. Good leave there. So we're tied up.
We are knotted at 4.
Knotted or tied, whatever you want to say.
It's even.
It's even. Yeah, even at 4. 4 squared.
4 is an even number. We'll go with that one. And that's what you can do. Wright plays very backhand aggressive, holds the paddle there, found the forehand side there, and Wright was reaching.
Oh, that one landing relatively close to the line, but it was one of the more impressive leaves I've ever seen.
And again, just it's so difficult to just reset everything, and that includes your swing pace. And Kovalova took a big hack at that, found the net, and Newman's are up 2 here early.
Great hand speed from both Wright and Newman there, but in the end, it was Newman that sends it long.
6-4 on a 2. Lindsay Newman serving to Matt Wright. Yeah, nice inside out there by Wright.
Yeah, it's interesting that Lindsay elected to not continue dinking with Kovalova. Ooh. That is one of the only knocks on the Newmans, the overhead speed.
Yes.
They do have quite pronounced grips towards that eastern side, and unfortunately it doesn't allow for a whole lot of pronation. So some teams against them really have utilized the lob well, and I'll be looking to see if Matt Wright is willing to take that risk, because it's not like they're not powerful, but it's not sort of deckle bar kind of change your life kind of power.
Oh, we had bumper cars in the middle of that point between Wright and Kovalova, and then he tries the drop volley, and that drops in the net, unfortunately for him.
Kovalova was just an inch or 2 away from some domestic violence there.
Good deep roll there, and yeah, with the continental grip, all the overheads are being smacked, but you can't get that paddle there, so it's all sort of arm and elbow from Newman on these overheads.
Oh, I love it. Almost on cue.
Unbelievable point by Lucy Kovalova there as the overhead started an exchange, and
it's 8:30 in the morning. How are they doing this at this time?
Tremendous point. They get the ball back down 3.
Generally still trying to figure out the cappuccino machine. Ooh.
At least 2 out balls here.
There was somewhat of a squeal there from Lindsay Newman.
A shriek that I'm sure was heard in the backseat of a family road trip.
Yes. I'm sure it was a sizable van. Many sisters in the Newman family.
Indeed. We haven't had a lot of the long points. You mentioned that before, seeing Lindsay Newman very comfortable throwing that ball at Lucy Kovalova. Let's do that for a while. Speed ups quickly here in this so far, and that just sails wide, Morgan.
Very rare third ball error. Interesting that Riley elected to go towards Mr. Wright, trying to keep him honest over there, I guess.
But that set off. First one's a miss, second one, the point construction is not in their favor at all when that return is easy to put over and Lucy's left, you know, the right side of the court and get up there and then do what you want. Good job by Newman there. Saw the two hands on the paddle, so she knew pace was coming from Wright.
So we'll have Wright serving to Newman at 4-7-2. Well, that's a forehand with some authority,
Yes.
no doubt about it.
Yeah, so again, cross-court attack. Lindsay Newman on it, but didn't get on top of it, left the next one up.
Yeah.
And
With Riley on the right-hand side, his ability to take over the center as well as Matt at this moment is being somewhat limited.
Yes.
Right? It's just that much easier to step across and slap a forehand in the middle than rotate shoulders and try to implement a successful two-handed backhand, which Riley is having to do at this point.
Wright and Kovalova within one. And perhaps sensing that Wright is more of a factor in the middle. Riley Newman chases across late. The ball's behind him. It sails deep, and we are knotted at 7 here at the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. We'll take our first Jigsaw Health break of the day. Let's get hydrated, folks. It is fun to feel good on a Sunday morning. All right, folks, welcome back to La Quinta. What a place. Mountains in the background, and there is 0 wind today, so the temperatures are going to rise throughout the day. Dave Fleming here with the great Morgan Evans. Morgan, you know this area better than any. As the ball gets softer with the heat all day, the play will change, won't it?
Yeah, certainly. I'll be curious if it changes enough during the course of this match to warrant any tactical changes from either team. If it does, I think it favors Newman and Newman. If it heats up enough to really slow the pace of the ball down, then these two I think are the best defensive team on the planet and will outdink anybody on a given Sunday.
So the timeout works. They get the ball back and get the lead back quickly as the Kovalova forehand attack sails deep, and 8-7-1 again. 3 out of 5 on Championship Sunday. So a lot of work to do to get a W here today. With the left hand, but can't get there with the right on the next one from Matt Wright, and brilliant point by all players there.
That reach of Matt Wright, able to apply a little extra angle.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not a luxury of the 5'9" player, but certainly is if you're 6'2", 6'3", thereabouts. I think Mr. Wright looks, I think he's 6'2".
Indeed.
Newman is 6'3".
And Newman with a beautiful forehand roll that catches Wright leaning to the middle, and they're up 2 at 9-7.
Oh.
Step back by Kovalova stays in.
Yeah, measured that pace brilliantly. Lindsay Newman believing it was going to be sailing long.
When that third comes up just short, 7-9-2. Great job by Lindsay Newman, as you mentioned earlier, just letting that go.
I mean, that's just good positioning. She's able to, she's comfortable getting so far over to the sideline, knowing that her backhand side is not available. And if it goes too far, it's out.
Riley Newman just wills the ball over sometimes. Got caught speeding it up there, though, to Matt Wright, and Wright finishes. Can they get to double figures here at 9-7-2? Good pressure again by Matt Wright. No harm done. They get the ball back.
Yeah, good pace. Tough shot to block for Lucy Kovalova. She may have thought that Matt was going to get involved. Oh,
beautiful inside out backhand volley by Lindsay
so
Newman.
Difficult to do with two hands. I mean, it's difficult with one hand, but two is even tougher.
And Kovalova was overcommitted to the backhand side there. Beautiful by Lindsay Newman. And that ATP defense paddles there.
And that brings up game point.
Angle is not. So again, we're playing 3 out of 5. Can they take game 1? Beautiful shot by Riley Newman.
A clean winner dink to close out game 1. Amazing stuff from Newman and Newman. Well deserved.
So the Newmans win game 1 again. It's best 3 out of 5 games to 11 here on Championship Sunday. Newman's off and running early here on the West Coast. Dave Fleming with Morgan Evans. We will be right back here at the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. All right, folks, welcome back. Dave Fleming here with Morgan Evans, and the Newmans play brilliantly in game 1. Any changes you'd expect from Wright and Kovalova here, Morgan?
Yes. Yes, I would. Well, it's beautiful work from Lindsay Newman, resetting those balls. I think, for me, she's the best resetter in women's game, for sure.
What a point to start out game 2 here. And not today in the middle, says Lucy Kovalova.
That's a big two-handed backhand statement, reminding Riley Newman that the middle is not available.
There's a roll by Wright, and again, going back to the prior point, the backhand can cover the middle and should some of the time, so it's not always the forehand if you've heard that before. Of course, we can't have great points 2 in a row. We have a missed serve wide, rarely seen in the pro game.
Oh. Wright looking to get involved. Kovalova probably could have taken care of business.
Wright is lucky his hand wasn't the business that was taken care of there.
Oh. And some seeds of discontent in the Kovalova Wright household.
Both said yours. Kovalova says, I can't see it, looking up into the sun. The sun is off to her left up in the sky.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense, to be honest.
And
they see their lead diminished quickly with miscommunication and then a hasty trigger.
It's a nice cutting dink by Kovalova there.
She does a great job keeping Newman honest on that side, stopping him from cramping the center too quickly.
Lindsay Newman defending like a champion there, but
if only Riley could. I mean, she took care of hers. Come on, Riley, get it together.
Come on, that winner was on your side of the court, bro.
Definitely on his side. I was looking for a dive.
Knotted a 2 here early in game 2. Perfect volley right inside the line. Again, best 3 out of 5 games to 11 on Championship Sunday. And that's what happens if Newman, meaning Riley, doesn't take that ball when it comes way over there. He is so far out of position. If the ball's just played back softly, trouble.
Nice. Kovalova looking to attack with a single-handed flick, but Newman's certainly ready for it. I think that's, obviously the game plan of Team Newman, hedging, gambling that Lindsay is going to be able to defend her side of the court against Kovalova's attack. But so far we haven't seen, many dink exchanges between the ladies.
2 or 3, and then, and
they're
we're
both
speeding it up.
Yeah, they're both very focused on keeping the men at bay. Oh, wow.
And
that is
Newman
big.
Nation asking for the crowd to join them in celebrating that point.
Well, just before the lawyers get involved, I was told that they weren't allowed to be called Newman Nation. There is a NASCAR team, apparently, that owns Newman Nation. So they had nice intentions.
So fans of Newman.
Fans of Newman, there we go. Newman Conglomerate,
Yes.
International Newman
Federation.
Newman Federation,
The
that's better.
IFN.
Yes. Oh, and it's missed. Lindsay Newman, she knows
Dives
when
below
to
the net.
Crouching Lindsay.
Hidden Riley there. And folks,
amazing stuff.
This is how the Newmans win, though. They get the energy out of a crazy scramble point.
Yeah. It feeds their momentum. They play to the crowd. They get the crowd on their side. Wonderful stuff.
Just for you maybe new to the game, Lindsay Newman does a great job chasing up to the drop ball, gets there, but is in the kitchen and has no means of getting out of there. So any ball she hits is going to be a fault. So what does she do?
Yep.
Dives below the net so that she is not in play and gets a miss.
Yeah, it's it might have seemed like there was a huge amount of room for Matt Wright to place the ball almost anywhere and win the point. Realistically, though, the coverage of Riley Newman, you know, probably could have got to so much that he felt like he needed to still stick with his original shot selection, which was, you know, almost painted the line, mistimed a little bit, and here we are at 6-3 with Newman's in control of game 2.
That's a great timeout there, because that's the Newmans just feeling the energy. I mean, playing to the crowd. That's shut that down. See if you can get back into your game.
The body language and energy of Wright and Kovalova needs to pick it up just a notch. And both refs catch a foot fault. Well done, refs.
That way we're really sure.
100%.
7-3 on the fault. Timeout does not help. In fact, made it worse with a fault. Look at that gap.
That's deja vu. Previous play looked identical.
Kovalova and Wright desperately need a second stop here to get the ball back, because all the mojo is with the Newmans. Nice redirect there off a tough cutting ball from Riley Newman. Catches Lindsay Newman off guard, and they do get the ball back. Can they make a run of their own?
Such good hands from Wright, but
Yes.
in the end, it is the defensive prowess once again of Newman's that awards them at least a second server. And Matt Wright's not too happy with some of these middle ball decisions.
That sums up this game, and Matt has a wry smile on his face after it bounces twice and stays on their side.
Somewhat disgruntled.
Yes.
You might say. That extends the lead to 5.
Even Lindsay Newman trying to will that over, and it didn't come off her paddle. They have magic powers over there.
It's amazing how often it works.
Great job by Lucy Kovalova. Let's see if that can inspire. Takes the first backhand and then rips the forehand winner into the open court. Tremendous footwork by Lindsay Newman. We haven't mentioned it yet, but this is a woman that is playing. She's expecting in
March.
So
Yeah,
what an athlete.
It really is amazing. You know, when you watch her technique, you know, you could be fooled into thinking that, you know, she's not as good as she is. But when you watch her on the court and how quickly she gets to balls and resets, there's almost nothing she can't reach and delicately drop in the kitchen.
Yep.
You know, some people technically look more whiz-bang and whatnot, more showtime, but that's not what wins championships.
defense can win championships with the right amount of offense sprinkled in, and the net's not their friend. Looking around, Matt Wright can't believe this is happening. 2 points from digging a 2-game-to-none lead, and everything is going Newman's way here.
Yeah, they've certainly found a way. Oh, and we have it. A well-deserved timeout, I would say.
Yes, I've got to find something. The energy differential is like the biggest kid and the littlest kid on a teeter-totter. Yeah. It's slammed to the ground on one side. So it's fun to be on a teeter-totter, and it is fun to feel good. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Dave Fleming here with Morgan Evans, and Kovalova and Wright have just called their second time out of this game, and they're staring down a game point that would put them in a 2-0 hole. Again, best 3 out of 5 here. Riley Newman to serve.
Ooh, that may have been an out ball. Oh, he came out of nowhere. That would have got this party started.
Oh my gosh, that was red. He hit his drop and took off to there. That's what you can do when you're up 10-4 and on the first serve. All right, game point number 2 here. Ooh. Okay, timeout works, saves 2 game points. Can they make a run?
I think Wright and Kovalova at least need to get their paddle tap situation going.
Yes, I'm in favor of having one.
Yeah, early on, Matt Wright was having quite a lot of success with that lovely forehand flick off the bounce, but he has been isolated effectively by Team Newman.
Good job by Kovalova letting that go deep. And you saw Wright, we talked about it earlier, you mentioned will they throw the ball up in the air because they're not scared of the overhead, they can defend it.
Yeah, they've defended beautifully, so I'd like to see Matt or Lucy go over the head of Lindsay Newman if they get up to the line. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. The International Federation of Newmans is on display. The IFN.
The IFN.
You heard it first here, folks.
Yep. We'll get those T-shirts made. And game point number 3 here in game 2.
Should have them printed by game 3.
Beautiful Ernie by Matt Wright.
Yeah, feeding off a wonderful dink from Lucy Kovalova.
Again, much different overhead angle, pronation, and 4.
Yeah,
game
really
points have been saved.
Really able to angle that that ball away, and still use all that power he possesses.
Lindsay Newman catches Kovalova on the forehand side.
Yeah, I think if they're going to go, they're going to have to go shortly. And that's a big point for Team Newman.
Yes.
It's the kind of momentum they needed to go into a service position with the kind of confidence that's required to take down Wright and Kovalova.
Game point number 5 right here. Great flick behind. Newman creeping in the middle, and Matt catches Riley. And
yeah,
at some point this gets in your head. That's 5. This will be the 6th game point.
Position change here from Newman's.
Oh. And little sis on bro contact there with the ball, and 6 have been saved, but they haven't done much on their own side of the serve. It's 5-10-1.
Well, that helps their cause, but let's see if Kovalova and Wright can get something on the board here. Such power on the wing there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Pulls within 4.
And again, some miscommunication on that middle ball. Matt Wright wants it, so does Lucy Kovalova.
Game point 7.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to organize their drops. They're targeting Lucy as often as they can, but perhaps just the backhand side of Matt Wright could be an option for them. This is their best chance now.
And 8 times is the charm as the Newmans finally get over the top and get that 11th point, and they are in phenomenal position. Again, folks, that's not the end of the match. This is best 3 out of 5 on Championship Sunday. I'm Dave Fleming with Morgan Evans. We'll be back with game number 3 right after this. All right, folks, welcome back to the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. We've got 2 cars watching the action here, as if
yeah,
maybe
I did.
It's like the
I saw an old guy sleeping in one of them last night. I thought it was a little strange, but yeah.
They are beautiful cars. We've got a Palisade and a Santa Cruz over there.
Yeah.
And
oh, there it goes. He just ran out.
And it is time for Kovalova and Wright to cruise, because they are facing a red-hot team and a 2-0 deficit.
I think, who knows, they may just come out swinging. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. That right there is the differential. The ability to dig out balls from incredibly difficult locations, keep themselves in the point.
And then the footwork by Lindsay to get to that ball and then slide to be in earning position and puts it away. Well done indeed. That's frustrating on the first rally of game 3. Great for the fans, though. That one doesn't come back. And in warm-ups, Morgan, I watched Matt Wright trying to cut cross-court dinks as best he could to get Lucy Kovalova ready for that Riley Newman cut. They knew what was coming. It's just coming in really perfection here from a pickleball standpoint.
So perhaps Wright and Kovalova have had a good chat about those kinds of balls that are certainly intended for Kovalova. She's giving up a bit of room, backing up off the line, letting Matt take control.
You called for that. They threw a couple of those in game 2, but the ability to track those down is also part of the Newman defense. And a rare freebie in this match.
Yeah, and I think, you know, after this, we may not see her for a while. I'm not sure if she's playing nationals or not. Such great movement to his right. I mean, these dinks coming from Kovalova are diabolical. They are unbelievable shots, but Newman able to get to them. Well, that wasn't a dink, really, was it?
That was not a dink, so we're not.
Yeah, we're not at fault there.
No, that's on him. Yeah, but then he puts trouble in a safe place. I mean, I think that sort of sums up their game. They're in trouble, and then they can put it in a safe place and get back in the point, and it's frustrating on the other side when you feel like you've hit 4 winners on a point, and you're at 50-50 at the kitchen line.
Yeah, I feel like Lucy Kovalova there on that 4th ball, she had a chance to apply some real pressure, took pace off, playing a little conservative, and then she went for a risky ball 2 shots later.
And there's Matt Wright stepping in. And the other thing that goes a bit unnoticed is their 3rd shot percentage is high 90s. I mean, they just don't miss thirds, so they get every chance every time.
I mean, I think when you look at how clean Lindsay strikes her resets, how good she is at that, skill in particular, it comes down to the fact that she's already decided. As soon as she's backed up off the line, she's got 1 shot that she's going to play. Certainly not any indecision regarding should I counter or not. No, I've got no right countering from 4 feet back off the line. I will live to fight another day because we are amazing once we're up at the line. Beautiful.
Perfect example right there.
And that ball is wide. Again, making them play 1 more ball again and again.
And unfortunately, they are playing those balls into the net and wide, and they are down 2 games and down 3 in game 3. Riley having a little chat with Riley there.
It's a great conversation.
Kovalova finally wins one of those head-on exchanges, and
she was due.
Can they turn that into points?
Well, that's a shot Kovalova can certainly make. I think the chips are not falling for them at the moment. A couple inches away from a great shot. That is impressive work. Lindsay Newman getting back for the overhead, getting it low enough to force a ball that's popped up for Riley to take care of. That's just too good.
It's
ticking all the boxes right now.
Yes, defense in the transition area, leaves the ball in a safe place, expects to be attacked because she's on the move, and there she is with the Ernie.
And during the timeouts, they are going to the exact same place. They are happy right now. They're both playing well. Lindsay, this might be the best I've ever seen her play.
Back to the family trip. Juice boxes for everybody. Everybody's happy. It's fun to feel good. It's fun to have a juice box on a family trip, and we'll be right back to you. It is all Newman so far here on Championship Sunday. All right, folks, we are back. Dave Fleming here with Morgan Evans, and the International Newman Federation is all over this court.
You think INF?
Yeah.
International Newman Federation, not International Federation of Newman.
Oh, IFN. Let's go with that. Yeah.
I think the INF is something else.
Yeah,
oh, no, I'm thinking IMF, the International Monetary Fund.
Well, all the money is on the Newman side right now. Good timeout, gets a mistake.
Still not out of the woods yet. Second server.
And let's see if they stay. They have put Lucy Kovalova on the left. Why not? Oh, and a great patient point by Kovalova, and then got one to finish and hits it deep.
This positional change could be a good tactic. However, it does unfortunately stop Kovalova from really being able to attack much down the line. I don't want to attack Riley Newman in a month of Sundays. Well, when it rains, it pours, unfortunately, for Kovalova and Wright. Well, after 8 to 10 attempts, finally a high ball has popped up from Lindsay Newman, and Matt can get in and strut his stuff. And that is a great counterpunch from Lindsay Newman. The fire keeps rolling.
Yeah, and when you slide, you only have to protect one side of your body. Forehand ready. Hit it as hard as you want. I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah. And she has that squashing grip, much like her brother, that really defends anything around the head and shoulder.
But it's okay.
Yeah, it's a great decoy.
No, says Lindsay, and then Riley puts it away anyway. And
that was a firm no.
That was very firm, but I got it. 7-2-1, just able to get one there. Long road ahead of Kovalova and Wright.
Yeah, nice work from Matt Wright to
Yes.
continue the controlled offense.
See if they can hold again and then get something started. 7-2-2. They sure can. Nice angled two-handed volley by Kovalova there. All right, 2-7-1. They tried Kovalova for a couple points on the left. They have aborted that change.
Kovalova visually upset with herself there.
That goes deep.
Yeah, Wright's not having much luck with the lobs today.
No.
He has been playing some phenomenal lobs of late.
Yes.
But today, it has been off. It could just be a sign of the amount of pressure the Newmans are applying. I mean, not on that occasion, obviously.
Obviously.
Pressure came from the net.
7-2-2. Ladies morning there for a while, and then Matt Wright came over and finished that off. And again, they kept him at 7. Can they do something on serve? Too good.
Yeah, the left-hander. So that could be the right location for the lob. Just not sure if Lindsay or Riley's going to take it.
And Kovalova says, I see your winner, and the Newmans do a great job of snuffing out rallies with their timeout. So they're going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout here. It's fun to feel good on a Sunday. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Dave Fleming here with Coach Mees, Morgan Evans. The Newmans have been in control all the way, and folks, when you have a lead, still use your timeouts, Morgan. They did right there. They're up 7-2. 2 quick points for Wright and Kovalova.
Smart move for sure. Can't afford the slide to happen any further. They haven't been playing bad. Nothing detrimental.
No.
Perhaps they saw the finish line. That can usually cause some issues.
We've got
an earring
situation indeed.
We will remind her that that's there later on.
Yes.
Or it will be on eBay quickly.
And look at what the timeout did. Got Kovalova to speed up into that Riley Newman no-go zone.
Which is the whole Newman zone, really.
Yes. It's just the zone.
There is really no go zone. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
And there's the proof.
Why do the rest of us even play? Unbelievable.
What a smile there by Newman. The fans love it. I mean, you just said that there is no zone to go to, and there literally isn't today.
And that is a big point for Newman and Newman. They have been stuck at 7 for quite some time. Finally, they reached the snowman, 8.
That sums up the day as well as anything. Just everything going the Newman's way.
It really
2
does.
points from a gold medal in the championship here at the Masters.
Tough location.
Yes. Right foot there, defending with the two-hander.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You don't see that very often.
They did some great hard work there. Still well in command, obviously. And again, just chips not falling where they would like at the moment for Wright and Kovalova.
No
Certainly not
tap,
counting them
off
out.
and go. Big swing in transition area, off balance, usually a problem, and not able to chip away. And again, the Newman's within 2.
I think that ball just contacting the net on the way through. If it would have been full pace, perhaps Riley would have had a chance.
We saw earlier, everything's coming back, so a third item had to get involved there, and that was the tape. Nice aggressive play by Wright there, and he gets the tag on Riley Newman, and they keep him at 9 again, so that's 4 points at 9. They just haven't been able to chip in.
If that one had gone over, I would have called him some kind of android, a robot that sent from the future to return balls.
Oh. Got the drop, got the ball up, and boy, that could have been.
Yeah, I mean, if their icing on the cake game was good today, then this would be a very different animal. Great power, blunt force through the middle. From that distance, whether you got an Eastern forehand,
whatever you got,
semi-Western,
continental, whatever you got,
just
find an opening. Well done there, and again, just 1 for Wright and Kovalova.
No. Okay.
So they haven't been able to get to the kitchen in the last few points here at 9.
I'd like to see him mix it up a little bit on the third ball. There we go.
And
that
beautiful point by Wright and Kovalova. If you just tuned in and watched the last 3 or 4 points, you'd be shocked at the scoreboard here. But
on that occasion, they did look like a team working well together. Hasn't always been the case today, whereas the Newmans, well-oiled.
Well-oiled. It's fun to be well-oiled and hydrated, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. It's fun to feel good in La Quinta. All right, we are back at the PPA Masters. This is the mixed doubles gold medal match. Newmans have been in command the entire time. Took a quick timeout there to get themselves set. Try and finish this out. 5-9-1. Now 6-9-1. They're within 3.
Oh, she's made every overhead so far. Hasn't always been a winner. In fact, Kovalova and Wright have defended, I think, every one, but it's often putting in Riley in great positions to finish the point.
Look at them switch now.
Interesting.
Lindsay on the right side.
Moves and counter moves. Oh.
And another mistake, and they are just down by 1 here. What a turn of events. And Kovalova coming in hot, and we are knotted at 9.
Yeah, there's definitely a momentum change. Let's see if Wright and Kovalova can continue the trend. Kovalova has struggled in transition. That has been a big difference between the two teams.
Indeed.
Lindsay Newman absolutely rock solid for the vast majority.
And Kovalova pulls it deep after a tremendous point by all 4 players.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge for Newman and Newman. If they can get this point, that could be all she wrote. Oh. I just don't think they're needing to take that kind of risk. They're doing so well up at the kitchen line.
1 more ball, and then you'll be there on the next one. 9's on 2. And they stay on 9 again. And Wright and Kovalova. What a change in body language and energy. It's switched over, and we're tied up 9 apiece. And now the net cords are going their way as well,
Yeah,
and a game point is on Matt Wright's paddle out of nowhere.
Yeah, Kovalova on that occasion, very good in transition. Dropped that ball very well on the 5th.
And that will do it. And the screams to the crowd are coming from Kovalova and Wright, who look at Matt Wright playing to the crowd, and we will play a game 4 here, Morgan Evans. So game 3 goes to Kovalova and Wright with the massive comeback. And folks, if you needed to understand why 3 out of 5 matters, that was proof right there. Newman's well in control after 2 and in stranglehold of game number 3. It looked like this was over. Not to be. Kovalova and Wright come flying back to take game number 3, and game 4 is underway. And Matt Wright sneaks in there and flicks one down the line, and he got more involved as that game went on, and they started playing complimentary pickleball with Lucy Kovalova finishing as well. I even think the first point in this game, first team to get on the board, it matters just for the psychology of this.
That's much better defense from Kovalova. Wright's playing aggressive, knowing that if Lucy can really just feed off the counter punch as well, she has got the power advantage over Lindsay Newman. Lindsay has certainly the defensive advantage, and I think her 3rd shot drops and her 5th shot work in transitioned areas is superior, but Lucy Kovalova is one of the more powerful players on the planet, men or women. It's a big swing on that one.
Huge swing instead of blocking that one, and the Newmans score a point for the first time in probably 15 minutes of actual time here. Knotted at 1. And didn't see that at all. Obviously, in the comeback, you can't have loose points. There's one right there, and 2-1 for the Newmans. And Matt Wright says, "You aren't going to safely put that in my kitchen."
Yeah, at the moment, the Newman work from behind the baseline isn't quite getting the ball low and soft enough to keep it out of the wheelhouse of Matt Wright.
Oh, Kovalova slid to favor the backhand there and was on it. Just
I mean, it looks like the Newmans have just a good strategy of one giant punch towards the Kovalova side, then get out of the way.
Yep. That time on the forehand.
Wasn't a giant punch. It was more of a jab. And that counter punch came back pretty routinely and in a great location from Kovalova. Well played, young lady.
Wow. Kovalova now pumping that left arm after the right arm comes strong with an inside-out defense, and they've got the lead back. It's like the net knows where the momentum is. All the balls slipping over onto the Newman side now. Creates an error after a ball that was uncomfortable. Oh. So they jump in front, 4-2. Riley Newman to serve. And again, the same patterns, but just a little more precise on the Wright and Kovalova side here. Beautiful. Lucy Kovalova's game rising.
For sure. I mean, perhaps it was just a matter of time before their timing and rhythm really came into play. And if they were aware that, if they clicked, it would be much more competitive, then they didn't need to make any tactical changes.
Yeah, we saw him sneak in Lucy on the left for like 2 or 3 points, and they got out of that quickly.
Yeah. But as the game has progressed, they have done a great job.
Oh. Kovalova hanging in there off balance, keeping the point alive. Unable to score on that service, and see if the Newmans can get off too. Oh.
Hey, one worked.
Pulling Riley Newman all over the court. A drop shot in front of him, usually not the best, but Riley Newman unable to put that in a safe place after he scampered it down.
He's getting his steps in today, folks.
We get a new ball. Daryl Wynn, our lead referee, and Leslie Frank, our second referee, and Lydia Blakeman ready if a challenge is called. We haven't had one yet, and we're in game 4.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We didn't have them yesterday, so perhaps the players forgot that they were an option for them. And today, Championship Sunday.
Getting ourselves the right ball. We can start to feel the sun is making an impact now on the court. It'll be full sun for several hours here at La Quinta. And Lucy Kovalova's got that left fist flying after she hits two-handed backhand winners. And the Newmans switched up their positioning there. That did not pay off.
No, I don't think they need to. I think their standard game plan is good enough. Oh, Mr. Wright did so well.
After all that, and he thought he had Lindsay Newman on that flick prior to that attack. Great job by defending that. And the point they were in control of does not result in a change in the scoreboard. So 4-2 has been the score for several side outs here in a row. Now the pressure of Wright is forcing a mistake off the Newman paddle.
Oh, a great leave. Kovalova and Wright did do well to stay in the points after some tricky positions.
Yeah, you heard the "come on, Lucy" from Matt there. Like, get there. I'm out of position. My fault.
That's 2 wide dink errors from Riley Newman in this game. You often don't see that in an entire tournament.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, it speaks to the pressure now being applied and the form that has risen dramatically from Kovalova and Wright. Oh, that is unnecessary,
yes.
Matthew. Matthew, I will tell your mother you've done that. I would imagine when he's in trouble, it becomes Matthew.
Oh, it's better being a middle name to go
Yeah.
with it, too.
If we can find out his middle name, we should. Ooh, imagine if it was Always.
Matthew always right.
Yeah.
Then that's what he says back to his mom, and he doesn't go to his room.
In fairness, I've never met someone named Always, but...
Be tremendous parenting if that was the middle name. All right, here we are, 3-4.
Again.
Ugh.
Oh. That ball looked long. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Lindsay Newman
yep.
called it in.
Catches the baseline. So after drop shot, just...
Again, inviting these Newmans forward.
Yeah. And again, the level of Wright and Kovalova.
Yeah, they have picked it up a notch.
Different.
And it's good that we're seeing their best stuff. I mean, the crowd came. They paid good money to watch the best of the best play their best.
Certainly getting that now from all 4 players. Ernie cross-court winner.
Yeah, looks like Kovalova and Wright are friends again after a few disgruntled looks.
There were some dicey moments in
yes.
game 2.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Oh. And the hero play from Kovalova doesn't quite pay off, but what a get from Matt Wright to drop that one back in with a knifing backhand slice. Whew. That is high-level stuff.
Tremendous effort by Kovalova there after being under siege, but unable to scrap that one back in the court. 3-5. Kovalova making Riley Newman work so hard. She's barely moving, and he's all over the place.
And that ball hit the palisade. That's we'll get a detail on that. Yeah. So whoever is lucky enough to win that car, if that indeed is a real thing.
Oof. And that time Newman is able to find Kovalova, and paddle face just closed a little too much.
So they're off 3. That's a start. Oh. So it looks like the Newmans are looking to drive towards Kovalova, not so much thinking they're going to get a free point out of it. They're just trying to enhance their 5th ball chances. Yes. You know, it's working well. However, it's a risk, because if she gets a good cut at it, unfortunately, there is no 5th for you.
Oh.
Matthew, what are we doing?
No, back to your room.
Yeah?
Matthew, always right.
Well,
little name not there on that choice after, again, we talked about it's safe to throw the ball up in the air, but then you got to be patient on the next one. Just tremendous play by Kovalova, and then Wright steps in, but
yeah, he controls that backhand so well while he's moving to his left. It's so tricky to be doing those shots essentially off balance. Well, there's dynamic balance, but certainly not static.
6-4-2.
Oh, that message received, I think, Lindsay Newman. Recognize that she is not infallible.
Yeah, the dink before that's one of the few that they've left in an attackable position, and that opportunity was seized. Dink is wide, and they are at 8-4. What a change!
It is a walk-off.
And there's that sound of a timeout, so we'll take one as well. Let's get hydrated. This match has done a complete 180. It's not fun to do a 180 in your Hyundai, so don't do that, folks, but it's fun to feel good. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back. Kovalova and Wright are on a mission here. They were 2 points from being sent to the silver medal position and have rallied impressively, and that momentum has continued into game 2. We've got Kovalova picking up her level, winning those cross-court dink battles with Riley Newman, and Matt Wright getting big in the middle. 8-4-2 after the Newman timeout.
That's great work there from Lindsay Newman to capitalize on that movement of Matt Wright towards his left. So let's see if they can chip away the lead. And there's one.
Yeah, and that's the difference on the precision on the dink cross court. It was up, so trouble could be started. 5-8-1.
Wright, I'm not sure he needed to overplay on that one.
No, he stepped on his partner's foot as well. I think she's fine. Lead is now just 2.
I'm sure she's used to it every time they go dancing. Oh, and the threat of the Wright Ernie, unfortunately.
That was one of those he wanted to pull back when it was on his paddle and just duffed it.
And it's Newman's turn to overplay.
Yeah,
boys will be boys, as they say.
They will. And
generally, it is the Newmans that stick to good decision making more often than not. But they are being put under real pressure now, so. Great play.
And again, Wright may have chosen a ball that Kovalova would have been fine on and got himself out of position. Can they get to 9 here? They cannot. So it's this cross-court dink battle that has changed the scope of this match. Riley Newman's made some errors there. Lucy makes this one. Let's see if they can chip away or perhaps take the lead here. 6-8-1.
And Newman swooping in on that occasion.
And swooped a kiss off the tape and wow.
Okay. Well, worked out well on that occasion.
Sold out.
Yeah.
You know, you're reading a paddle face when you do that. And
yeah, I mean, so far, Riley Newman has tended to go back 9 times out of 10 towards Kovalova.
Matt Wright fired up and yelling at the crowd.
He certainly had the has the loudest let's goes, come ons, and general screaming.
Certainly this on this court and of many. And
Newman, no stranger to it for sure.
8 again for Wright and Kovalova. And they get off the snowman with a fault call of a foot just on the edge of the kitchen line.
Nice southpaw.
Oh.
And Riley Newman doing wonderful work, creative work in the transition area.
Ambidextrous work there, and and game point is on the Wright and Kovalova paddle here to force a deciding 5th game.
Yeah, an hour ago we did not think this was possible.
But it is possible. And Wright and Kovalova on their first opportunity finished right there. And folks, everyone's dressed in white, and it's going to take a 5th game to decide the winner of this mixed doubles gold medal match. We'll be right back after these messages for game number 5. Back here at the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. Dave Fleming, the great Morgan Evans. And Morgan, what a switch of pretty much everything here.
Everything. Yeah, no, everything we knew to be true midway through game 3 has now been turned on its head. Cats now like dogs. The world is indeed flat. That's higher quality dinking.
Yes.
From the Newmans,
Yes.
keeping the ball out of the range of Mr. Wright. Not an easy thing. That's a ball Lindsay can be trusted with.
100%.
But I believe Riley already had intentions of some kind of wonderful intercept.
Oh, Kovalova sitting on the forehand there. And
yes, it's not Lindsay's job to start fights from those positions by any stretch.
And folks, again, this is game 5, the deciding game. We will switch sides at 6. No win, but the sun will definitely be a factor in that change as these lobs continue. There's the first point of game number 5, goes to Kovalova and Wright. And Kovalova pumping that left hand again, and
yeah, I mean, a lot of people switch hands with the paddle just to get the right hand to really fire, but she's comfortable with the left-handed fist pump, and it's good technique all round.
Oh, that ball's going to go wide, but we'll never know for sure. Caught her on the shoulder. So that time Kovalova starts the attack and ends up on the wrong side. See if the Newmans can get on the board here in game number 5. Oof. And they do with a mistake from the Kovalova forehand. And
beautiful read. Got in there early.
Yeah, and we haven't seen, boy, in those first 2 games, crowd going nuts. Lots of Newman Nation, Newman Federation points. Haven't seen a lot of those. That's probably why the score is what it is. Kovalova and Wright have stayed out of that problem. Just too good by Wright. They wanted that to go out, and it certainly had,
some
the
momentum.
Shape of a ball going out, but caught the line. Everyone agreed. Don't need to go to replay, which is an option. We haven't had it. We're in game 5, and we haven't had it. So good job, referees and players calling the lines.
So we're still knotted up, as you would say.
Yes. Yeah, and I like the energy. Come on, Matt. We didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, typically you hear a lot of "Let's go, Lucy's."
Yes.
She's only brought out his first name twice, and it's been for good reasons.
Yes. And that flick stays in. 2 beautiful winners in a row for Wright and Kovalova, and they are up by 2.
She has found her rhythm. Yeah.
Too good.
Too good. Exactly. Newman gets into such good position so quickly, and even when the ball is jamming him up, he's able to manipulate his wrists to redirect traffic.
Oof. Again, some trouble with the fifths a little bit, but has cleaned that up for the most part. Obviously, the scoreboard shows us that.
Let's see if they drive again. Nope. Lindsay a little lazy in transition there. I think
not good at all.
Good capitalization there from Riley Newman. Beautiful drop, though.
Drop at the right feet creates a point. 3-4-2. Wow. And Newman all over the place, that being Riley, and gets a mistake off the
He's attempted that. He's attempted that attack twice now, and it's paid off both times. Such power, such reach.
Yes.
I mean, collectively, their reach into the kitchen has to be the best in mixed doubles.
Yes. Yes. And we're even at 4 again. Kovalova and Wright looking to take the lead back. And they will.
Oh,
and
a
kiss.
There
We even have
you
a
go.
mid deciding game 5.
She will have words
Peck
to
on the
him
cheek.
about that afterwards.
5-4. They are a couple, folks. Hang in there. And that goes deep, and we will switch sides. We got a kiss. We got a ball that did not kiss the line, so that goes deep. So Kovalova and Wright are up 6-4, just 5 points out of nowhere. If you went back and just started tuning in game 3, you'd say, well, this is what I've seen the entire time. So we're going to take a break as well. We'll be right back. Switch sides. We're at the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. Folks, we are back. Dave Fleming here with Morgan Evans. We have switched sides here in game 5, and Kovalova and Wright have continued their stellar play. We've got a 2-point lead here in game number 5. 6-4-1. Kovalova to serve to Riley Newman.
Great redirect there. Wrong footing Matt Wright, who was hoping that Lindsay Newman would continue to pepper away at Lucy Kovalova. Yes, great work from Newman. Firstly, Riley to initiate the around the post. I think he has to do that a little more often. Lucy Kovalova's dinks are pretty wide.
Yes. Yep, Wright defends it, and then Lindsay steps in. Can they get back going? And missed some thirds again. Flawless in the first 2 games with their thirds.
Yeah, couldn't put a foot wrong. That is wide. I do think Riley has to do that exact same kind of thing, just take a few more risks.
Yes.
They have been playing conservative, and that has allowed Wright and Kovalova to get back into this game and take charge. Again, oh, I thought that was going to be ATP.
And again, Kovalova, and she brings the left hand up for the fist pump. That time she's got a variety of left-handed fist pumps, and
she's got it all.
She's got it all.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented player and cheerer, and they keep the lead at 6-5. Again, catching the left side of Wright, which is the right side for that shot.
It does get confusing, don't worry.
And Kovalova able to throw a lob up and then get on the outside shoulder.
She really displayed a full spectrum of shots there. Caused Riley to make the error on the wide ball. And we've got a change of positions.
Yes. And it creates an error. We said before when they did this, we didn't think it was necessary, and that's still my position as well.
Yeah, my position is your position.
But not their position. They stay with it. So they get the ball back, down 3. And they're going to roll with this. So Lindsay Newman on the right.
That's didn't quite go to plan.
No. Nice finish in the middle there by Lucy.
Kovalova asking if, and it looks like we'll have our first challenge of the day.
First challenge of the day here on the forehand roll by Matt Wright.
It looked a little long from my angle, but
we'll get some verification here. So we're going to take a look at that. We've got Lydia Blakeman in the booth checking out all of the replays.
Yeah, she's had a pretty easy go, but good to get her active. You know,
yes.
She's going to make her money somehow.
Sitting up here with a headset. Let's use it. Let's use this. So while that is happening, Morgan, we've seen the Newman switch positions. What does that provide for them?
Well, it's a different look, obviously.
Yeah.
If they want to target Lindsay, she's now in a new location, and it's a whole different bunch of shots that are going to get to her. The problem is, there's a reason why Lindsay Newman is so good at defense and blocking, resetting those balls. She uses her backhand side so often. And unfortunately, when she's on that side of the court, that backhand is Riley's forehand. Riley is certainly a great defender, resets beautifully well, but they can find an angle that gets away from that area more easily, I believe. And that can force Lindsay to have to try and reset with her forehand side, and that's not her preferred reset shot. So it does pose some issues, but backs up against the wall. 5-8 down. You're better off making some change than no change. Do not die quietly.
Okay, so Wright and Kovalova are going to win their challenge, and this call is going to be overturned, and that Matt Wright forehand flick lands on the line, Morgan. So replay, I love having it so we get the calls right. Matt Wright in white makes the call good. And
oh, you.
That's a big, big challenge there. Big challenge, and you know the Newman's got a so we're trying to get that communicated down to the referees.
And it appears that the ball will be judged to be in. So a good challenge from Wright and Kovalova.
So that should bring us back at 5-8-2. Anytime the eraser is being used by a referee, that probably means there's an overturn out there, Morgan.
Yeah, no, they're smart to use a pencil. Looks to be an HB from this angle.
All right, we are back. You know, let's play ball.
Lindsay Newman shaking her head in disbelief.
So the score had been 5-8-2. Now we're going to switch. And we're at 8-5-1. Big, big challenge used there by Wright and Kovalova.
It's ambitious. Oh, that is the issue.
Yes.
With Kovalova being on that side and Newman being in front. Unfortunately, Riley Newman is one of the less attackable people in the world.
And that sails wide. Great defense of the ATP. The net gives you some of the juicier ones where you can hit it. Great job by Wright to keep that going, but they're within 2 at 6-8-1.
Again, that's that ball that can get wide of Lindsay Newman. There's not much Riley can do about it.
This pattern does neutralize Matt Wright to some degree as well.
Again, it's that forehand side block. It's just not her preferred side. And, you know, it's a little late, perhaps, for her to be having to get into a rhythm with cross-court forehand dinks. By contrast, Lucy Kovalova has played a number of balls.
Oh, and we have
a wrong side
receiver mistake.
That could be one of the final nails.
Wow.
And another challenge.
Another challenge.
Okay.
So that's what happens when you start switching
That's what
your
happens
patterns.
When you remember you have the challenge system in game 5. You might as well use both of them.
So we had a misalignment. Now we have a second challenge. So Lydia Blakeman, who sat silently and not having anything to do, is now put back to work here.
Beads of sweat rolling.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the decision. It's 10. Call is upheld here, got it. Okay. So that ball was out, so that call is upheld. 9-6-2, the Newmans are in proper receiving position. And
beautiful
Riley
play
up to
there.
the challenge.
Yes, there's a lot of pressure on both players right now. Lindsay to perform those incredible blocks.
Oh, and now they have incorrect server. So they have an incorrect receiver and then incorrect server, as again, they're in a different position than the way they started with Riley on the right, and now it's Lindsay again serving, and she asked the question, but wow. Game 5.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Positioning blunders.
Mental lapses. Happens to the best of us. Happened to me once. 1987, I remember. And nothing is going their favor now. They could do no wrong in game 1 and 2. And since then, it has been oncoming traffic.
Yes, and there is no crosswalk with a guard right now. They've got to find it right here. 9-6, 2 points from a gold medal for Wright and Kovalova, and that third hits the black bar at the bottom. That is not where you want to aim. So second shot to get to 10 right here. And Kovalova was able to bring the first one back to Lindsay, and then Matt finishes, and we have a match point here, Morgan.
Who would have thought it?
Oh, and they clap paddles at the worst possible time, and a match point is saved by the Newmans. Can they keep the ball for a while and get this knotted up at 10? Wow.
Oh, and Matt with an "Oh, Lucy," as opposed to the previous "Let's go, Lucy's."
Yes.
And
different tone, too, there.
oh, yes.
7-10-1.
And the Newmans have correct serving sides. That's a nice change of pace.
Yes. Great job by Wright stepping in.
Again, Lindsay on that side. It's so tricky. You would think it's the norm, but they have gotten so used to her being on the left and straddling the kitchen.
And Matt Wright has come to finish this. First gold medal point was saved. Here's number 2.
We will see these two gentlemen dueling again
Yes.
later on today. Matt Wright teaming up with Ben Johns. They're taking on Riley Newman and Tyson McGuffin for the men's gold.
And 3 match points are now saved.
Great hustle from Matt Wright just to get to that ball. And at the tender age of 42, I believe,
Yes.
he is doing wonderfully well to get around the court. And a great change of direction with that beautiful flicking forehand. He wasn't looking for the middle, was no longer looking for Lindsay, but the
Yes.
outside of Riley Newman is a tricky spot. Oh,
Perfect lob off the net cord by Lindsay Newman.
unbelievable stuff. And she switched her paddle to the left hand, went with the right hand for the fist pump. Crowd appreciates that.
And they're within 2 here in game 5.
That is huge. And Wright looking to step over, overplaying. And certainly picking on the wrong person. Maybe he forgot that they had switched positions. This point is everything.
Oh, and the lob works at a humongous moment in time.
I apologize. The noises my mouth are making. I'm just on the edge of my seat. If I was sitting, I am standing, of course.
Gold medal point number 4. Oh. Set himself up, finishes into the net, and here's try number 5 to win this. And there it is. Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova are your gold medalists. They were down 11-7, 11-6, and within 2 points in game 3 of being sent home without touching a game win, let alone a match win, Morgan. They are your gold medalists.
It really was an impressive display from Kovalova and Wright. They didn't exactly change tactics. The one time they did, it didn't go well at all. They kept with their guns, knowing that when they found their rhythm, their best was going to be good enough, and they were right.
And their best was 2 points good enough in game number 5. What an amazing start to Championship Sunday here at the PPA Masters, brought to you by Hyundai. We will have the women's singles gold medal match coming up next with Leah Jansen and Anna Lee Waters. That'll be beautiful, but what a mixed doubles match to start the day. We'll take a break now and be right back. Don't you dare go anywhere.
PPA Masters. I'm here with our champions, Lucy Kovalova, Matt Wright. What an incredible match. We love that it went to 5, but I want to say, how on earth did you come back? I mean, what was the conversation at game 3 when you're like, we're down 2 games? What do we do?
In 2-9, I think. Was it 2-9? Yeah. Well, we just look at each other. It's like, well, we have nothing to lose at that point. It was just like chip away a couple points here and there. And then we came back, and you know, it's like 4-9, 5-9, 6-9. It's a close game. So Matt was a great partner. It's like, okay, I will start moving better. I'm just gonna set me up. I will put everything away, and I was like, okay, we'll do my part.
On any other day of the week, that match would have been finished after game 2. Do you feel like the best out of 5 Championship Sunday format benefits you guys?
I don't know if it benefits us in general. It certainly did today. I've been on both sides of that. It can go either way. You maybe have a little more margin for error. You have a little bit more. More margin for error, and that's in the back of your mind. Now, when you get down 2-9 in the third game and you're down 2 games to none, yeah, I mean, I had this written off. But we were just trying to grind out a few points and make her.
Yeah. I've been there before.
Yeah. She's probably thinking about what she's going to eat for lunch because she likes her lunches. So I don't know how we did it. It just, I guess the stars aligned for us today.
All right, Matt, you have another final coming up later today. Lucy, you going to take care of him? What are you guys going to go do now?
Well, I think he's playing.
Jigsaw electrolytes.
Yeah, we'll hydrate a little bit, and I think Matt is playing right after this match, so he doesn't have that long break. So we'll just hang out here, and hopefully he will be prepared to perform.
Big congratulations, guys. Love to see you win out there. All right, and with that, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. We have a lot more finals to show you.